Welcome to the Mekko Graphics webinar. This is David Goldstein, and I'll be working you through some of the changes that we've made in the latest version of Mekko Graphics. In terms of just the way that this will be organized, we will probably spend the first about 20 minutes or so working through these, going through some of the changes to the latest version. And then from there, I'll have about 10 minutes left to answer your questions. One of my colleagues, Elena Kontorovich, is on the call as well. She will on the webinar as well. So if you've got questions during the webinar, she will be able to handle them. And as I said, I'll save some time at the end to answer questions. The other thing to note is that the latest release is a Windows release. So all of the features that I'm showing you are in the latest Windows release. We are planning a new Mac release, and we'll give you some information on that when it's ready to go. So let me just dive right in, give you a little bit of a summary of what we're going to cover. So there are really 4 sets of changes that I'm going to walk you through. The first is the ability to link a Mekko Graphics chart to a pivot table or to an Excel table. So there we're going to show you how to create a dynamic chart in a dynamic Mekko Graphics chart that will change when you change the filtering on your pivot table or change the rows or columns to your pivot table. The second feature that I'd like to show you is something new that we've added in this release of Mekko Graphics. It's a little different than anything we've done before. It gives you the ability to link a formatted Excel range to PowerPoint. So you can build a model in Excel and then have some nice formatted output from that model in a range in Excel, and then move that to PowerPoint. And then if you update that model and that output range changes, then you can easily make those changes, reflect those changes in your PowerPoint. The third area that we're going to focus on is something a lot of our customers have asked for. It's really the ability to set a chart in Mekko Graphics, set the colors in a chart in Mekko Graphics to match the colors that you would get in a chart in native PowerPoint or Excel. So we're going to show you how to set that for new charts. So your new charts match your Office theme colors, or apply, and we're also going to show you how to apply those Office theme colors to an existing chart. And the last thing we're going to show you is a couple of changes we've made in sorting to give you the ability to give you some extra functionality on sorting waterfall charts and also on sorting data rows. So let me jump right in and start with linking charts to pivot tables. So we added this functionality in Excel right in the Edit Chart ribbon to link a chart to a pivot table. So let me show you how to do that. So I'm going to open up Excel. And here I've got a little pivot table. I've got the data behind the pivot table in another sheet. I can select the data range I want, go to Mekko Graphics Charts, Chart in Excel. I'm going to build a Marimekko chart here in Excel. And it's going to give me this link to pivot table functionality right here. And I'm going to cross my fingers, click on this button. And now my chart is linked to the pivot table. So I can make changes to the chart here. I can set my sorting to be biggest on bottom, widest on left. Click off. And then if I make changes to my pivot table, change the filtering, it's going to update directly in the chart. The same thing will happen if I say, well, I don't want to see all of these columns of data. Maybe I just want to see these first few. Click OK. And again, the chart will update. So you've got the ability to really make dynamic charts in Excel linked to your pivot table, which I think is kind of a neat feature that will be able to integrate Mekko Graphics charts more closely with the work you're doing in Excel. You can also take this chart, copy it, paste it into your PowerPoint deck. Oops, wrong button. Close this. Let's try again. Paste it into your PowerPoint deck. Resize it. Do whatever you want in PowerPoint. Double click, and this chart is going to be linked to that Excel range. So if I go back and change my chart in Excel, this chart's going to update right away. The chart in PowerPoint is going to be linked. So you need to go to link to Excel. And if you say refresh, it's going to go back and get the new pivot table data and apply it to the chart. And if you want to make the chart in Excel fully dynamic, the chart in PowerPoint fully dynamic, you can go to Mekko Graphics Charts, click on the Excel Link Manager, and here's my linked chart. I can just set it to auto, and now this chart will update as soon as I make a change to my pivot table. If I change my pivot table here, you can see this chart updates right away, and this chart updates right away as well. So this is, I think, a really nice little feature to be able to make your charts in PowerPoint dynamic if you want to, make your charts in Excel dynamic as well. And this feature also works, even though it says link to pivot table, it also works with Excel tables. So let me just go back to Excel. I made a little Excel table demo here. So here's my little Excel table. I've already linked this chart to the Excel table. I can make the Excel table bigger. And you can see the chart updates here in the chart linked to the Excel table updates just like the chart linked to the pivot table. So this is kind of nice if you're adding quarters or adding weeks to an Excel table, and you have an associated Mekko Graphics chart with that Excel table. You can use that link to pivot table, the same link to pivot table button that we used before. You can use that button to link the chart to an Excel table, as well as to a pivot table. So I think that's a kind of a nice little feature. Hopefully you will find it useful moving forward. So the next feature that I wanted to explain to you is the new one that we added to Mekko Graphics in the latest release, and it's the ability to export a table from Excel into PowerPoint. So if you do this, then changes you make in your Excel can be easily updated in your PowerPoint. We've added this export table button to Excel, and we added this refresh table link feature to PowerPoint, and I will show you how that works right now. So let me just go to my linked table in Excel. I'm going to bring it up right here. Let me close out my other Excel. Here's my linked table. So imagine I built a little model, a little income statement model, driven by some big database behind it with some assumptions and whatever. So I'm going to just highlight this range, go to Mekko Graphics Charts, click on this button, Export Table. Then I can put in a new slide in my deck here. And this sort of works like the feature we have in Excel where you want to move a chart to PowerPoint. You want to create a chart in PowerPoint based on an Excel range. Here we're creating a table in PowerPoint based on an Excel range. So you get the same little hand with this little Mekko chart behind it, and you click on the slide and it'll put that little Excel table, copy it and paste it into PowerPoint right here on that slide. I can reformat it the way I want to, resize it the way I want to, and this table is going to be linked to that range in Excel. So if I go back to Excel, make changes in the data, say I update my model, make some changes in the data, or make changes in the formatting. And I want those changes reflected in my PowerPoint. I can just go back to PowerPoint, right click on this little table, and here you see we added this little button, refresh table link. It's going to go back to Excel, get the changes I made to the table, and apply it to this PowerPoint. There you can see the number updated and the formatting updated. So again, this is a nice feature if you're building models in Excel and you're pasting those models into a deck. In PowerPoint for a presentation, you need to make some changes to the assumptions or to the model, and you don't want to have to redo everything you did to format that table to look nice in PowerPoint. So you can just refresh the table link and it will handle it for you. So again, going from Excel into PowerPoint. Oh, plus you do have the ability in the Excel Link Manager here, if you've got several linked tables, you can update all of them all at once with this Excel, with this update link table button in the Excel Link Manager. So we've added that functionality to the Excel Link Manager. So I've gotten through 2 of the 4 things I wanted to cover. The last 2, the third is this feature that a lot of our customers have asked for, especially customers who are new to Mekko Graphics. They want their Mekko Graphics charts, the colors on their Mekko Graphics charts, to look just like the colors in their Excel and PowerPoint, native Excel and PowerPoint charts. So to do that, before we do that, let me just give you a little background on how Excel and PowerPoint come up with the colors for their charts. So in Microsoft Office applications like Excel and PowerPoint, in the Design tab, you have the ability to see all of the colors, what we call the Office, what PowerPoint and Excel call the Office theme colors. So if you click on Design and you click in Variants and you click in Colors and you click in Customize Colors, you'll see this little form, little dialog comes up, and this shows you the colors that PowerPoint or Excel uses for its charts and for other features called the theme colors. So there's these 6 accent colors, these 2 hyperlink colors, and 4 text colors. So they, PowerPoint and Excel use these colors as chart colors. Mekko Graphics can also use these colors as chart colors now. And let me just show you how to do that. So to do that, you just go to Mekko Graphics Charts, you go to the Preference Manager. And the Preference Manager, if you don't know about the Preference Manager allows you to change settings within Mekko Graphics, and it allows you to create themes and color palettes within Mekko Graphics. So you can see that I've got a custom color palette I call Modern 6, which is my current default. If I want to set the default from the current Office theme colors, I just press this button. And it adds right here this new color palette called Clarity, because that's the name of my Office theme. And it and it's going to set this as the default. If I do nothing else, you'll end up with a chart that looks very much like a chart in a Mekko Graphics chart that looks very much like a PowerPoint or Excel chart. If you want to tweak this chart a little, if you want to tweak this color palette a little, you can tweak any color palette in the Preference Manager just by clicking on the Edit button. And if you click on the Edit button, you can see all the colors that will be displayed on the right click, which are all variants on those Office theme colors that we had. And then you'll see over here what we call the draw order. So this is the order in which the default order for how those colors are going to be applied to a chart. So you can tweak what appears on the right click just by using Add and Delete, and you can click what appears in the draw order as well. I'm not going to do that. I'm just going to use my Office theme color. Save my changes. And if I add a new slide and I add a new chart, it's going to use those Office theme colors. If I add more series to the chart, you can see those series, those theme colors applied to those series as well, those new series as well. So that's a nice little feature. You just have to press those couple of buttons, and then all your new charts will get those Office, will get your Office theme colors. So then the next question is, how do I apply those Office theme colors to an existing chart? And we're giving you the instructions here in how to do that. And it's really a two-step process. Once you open an existing chart, the first step is to reset the colors in your chart. And the second set is to use this button up top here to apply Office theme colors. So let me show you how to do that. Here's a chart I took from the Mekko Graphics chart gallery. I'm going to double click it. It's clearly not the colors in my Office theme. I just go to color up here and I say reset colors. So this reset colors button is going to take any custom colors I made to series and segments in my chart and put them back to the standard colors that came from the default color palette. So once I do that, I can go here and apply Office theme colors, and it will apply that same set of Office theme colors directly to this chart. And then if I want to, I can then customize these colors, obviously, on the right click, make them however I want to make them. So hopefully that will get you going with those Office theme colors. The last feature that I wanted to show you is the sorting improvements that we've made. And really there are two sets of sorting improvements that we've made. We've added better sorting capabilities for the waterfall charts. So right now you can, in the latest version, you can sort bars in the waterfall charts. So the biggest is on the left or the biggest is on the right. And you could include or exclude the first bar, the start bar, in the sorting. So if you've got this kind of build-up waterfall, then you probably want to include the start bar in the sorting, this first bar. If you've got a change waterfall going, say, from 2017 revenue to 2018 revenue, then you probably don't want to include that 2017 revenue in the sort order. So let me show you that. I've got another little example here. Double click. And then if I go to bars and series, and I go to my sort tab, let me put this in a place where we can see. Go to my sort tab. Here's my bar display order. My first bar is on the left. So it's not quite in numeric order, but if I want the biggest on the left, you can see that other family members will move to the second bar once I click that. And again, if I didn't want to include significant other or spouse, if this was a change waterfall instead of a build-up waterfall, then I would just, if I wanted to include that bar in the sort, I would click on this button here, which is probably the right approach in this kind of waterfall chart. The second area you can see in this chart is in my little data sheet. My 3 data rows are in this order: percent buying, average spend, and year-over-year change, like this. If I want to change the order of those bars, those data rows, that changes right here in the custom. If I wanted average spend first, just click up. If I want average spend last, I can just click down. So you can put your data rows in whatever order in the spreadsheet, and then use this custom sort order to change the order of the data rows. Great. So I covered the features I wanted, those 4 features. Hopefully that was that gave you a sense of the new things you can do with Mekko Graphics. I have some time. I wanted to open it up for questions. So I will stick around and try to answer questions. You can put the questions in the little questions feature in GoToWebinar. I see a couple of them here now. So the questions are, will this be recorded and sent to participants afterwards? Yes, we are recording this, and we will send this to participants and to registrants, people who registered for the webinar but were not able to attend. They'll all get access to this, and we will put this up on our we will put this up on the Mekko Graphics website as well. We will also share this presentation with on our web in the email and on the website. Other questions? Let's see. Can a specific individual set of colors be shared with colleagues or even a whole organization? So that not everyone has to do the settings. So yes, so you can create a set of colors in the Mekko Graphics Preference Manager here, as I did, and then you can say save to file. That will export your colors into a file, and then you can send that file to a colleague, and that colleague can click on the add from file button, and it will add those color palettes to their file. So that's the easiest way to share with one or a few colleagues. The second part of that question was, can you share this with the whole organization? And the answer is yes, you can. That's a little more complicated. You can work with our support team, and we can build for you. We would typically only do this for larger enterprise clients. We can build a custom installation for you that applies your colors to when any of the users at your organization install Mekko Graphics, or when your IT team installs Mekko Graphics on any user's computer, they can have those color palettes included in that installation. So that would require building a custom installation. If you want information about how to build a custom installation, just send me an email, and we can talk about that. Someone asked, very good question, what's the version number and how do I check my version? How do you know if you've got the latest version with all these new cool features? So you can do that on the Mekko Graphics charts ribbon under help, about, you'll see the version number. So the latest version is version 12.1. So if you've got 12.1, you've got these features. If you don't have 12.1, go to the Mekko Graphics website, click on the little download button, close PowerPoint and Excel, go to the Mekko Graphics website, click on the download button, and you'll get version 12.1 installed. And again, this is the Windows version, not the Mac version. How do I put MOM, month over month growth, in the respective chart blocks? Month over month growths in the respective chart blocks in a bar Mekko chart. So you can put month over month growth in a data row at the bottom of a chart. That's how I would do it in a bar Mekko chart or any kind of bar chart, typically if I'm showing growth in my chart, I would show it in a data row at the bottom. Let me see if I can find an example in my chart gallery. So here are some examples in my chart gallery. I might show year-over-year growth. Here, I would typically show it again as a data row at the bottom of a chart. I typically wouldn't put it into the bars of my chart in a waterfall or in a Mekko chart, in a bar Mekko chart. I might set the growth to the height of the bar, and then it would show up as the bar total, as I did here. And if you've got more questions about this, feel free to reach out to me, and we can set up a one-on-one meeting to discuss how to apply month-over-month growth to your charts. Are there any updates, improvements for Gantt charts planned? The ease of use and automatic resizing of text does not always work well. We are looking at some Gantt chart improvements. I don't have a knowledge about what or when they will be. Martin, who asked that question, if you could send me a note or connect with me, then I'd be curious to understand what kind of improvements you'd like to see, and we'll definitely take those into account. Is the Excel chart gallery available on the Mekko Graphics website? So the chart gallery is built into your Excel and into your PowerPoint. So you just click gallery in Excel, in PowerPoint, and you'll get to the gallery, and you can just right click and say insert slide, as I did here, and get a slide from the gallery, and the gallery is fully searchable. The gallery is also available in Excel. So you can just click on view gallery. I want to add a chart with an income statement on it. I can search for income statement. Right click and say insert the chart. And it's going to add a sheet to my Excel. It's going to have the data for the chart in the sheet, and it's going to have the chart here as well. So very easy to add your chart from the gallery directly into directly in Excel or in PowerPoint. Those are all the questions I've seen so far. I can wait another minute or two and see if other questions come up. And if not, I will sign off and thank you all for attending the webinar. And as you can see from the deck, you'll get the deck. Feel free to reach out to me with questions. If you want to set up a one-on-one session, feel free to connect with me on that as well. Well, great. Well, thank you again. Thank you all again for attending, and I will wrap up the webinar. Thanks so much. Bye-bye.